Hey there, welcome to day 8 of our Get Up and Go Challenge, our free Get Up and Go Challenge for the month of October. Today we are going to talk about your change reaction. But yesterday we talked about our core values. And why do we do that? And what did you learn? Because if we know what's important to us, that becomes an excellent filter for making decisions, making choices, moving forward in our life. So often we just live our life without actually consciously considering what's important to us. And throughout this month, throughout this process, we are really going to tune into and hone in on what's important to you, what matters to you the most. So today we're going to talk about our change reaction, because believe it or not, we all already have a way of dealing with changes and challenges that come up in our life. Some of those ways are really valuable and they help us out and they make sure that we have the best possible option for us. A lot of them, not so much. And I've really discovered this over the last year and a half since COVID hit. I realized that I actually had some big gaps in how I personally was dealing with changes and challenges up until the point of COVID-19. Now, COVID-19 was a wake-up call for many of us, especially business owners, well, actually just for millions and millions of people on the planet. It was a wake-up call to pay attention, to think for ourselves, to stand up and understand what works for us, what doesn't. Do we have contingency plans? The vast majority of us found out we were wanting in the areas of handling change and challenges, as well as having any sort of contingency plan or backup plan or safety net in place if things in the world happen to change. So today, your change reaction, we're going to look at, and we're going to do a deep dive. You are in your change practices. I'm going to do the same thing on my change process, because we all have a process. So think of a problem today. This is what we're going to do. I call it the Grand Inquisitor. Our tool today is the Grand Inquisitor. I was reminded of Harry Potter the other day, and I'm like, oh, the Grand Inquisition. I remember that. That is perfect. It's a perfect way to describe the tool that we use today. The tool we're going to use today is questions, being curious, digging into, understanding. I need a magnifying glass. Sorry. I said I'd try not to cough. Sometimes you just have to cough and get it out. That's embarrassing, right? Okay, so the Grand Inquisitor, we're going to look at, inquire, be curious about our personal process. How do we actually make changes? How do we actually deal with changes and challenges that come down the pipe toward us? And we're going to ask a couple of questions about it. We're going to think about an event. So think about an event or a change. Maybe something in your life is changing right now, and you can say, okay, well, what process am I using to deal with this change? So something happens. Maybe it's COVID-19. When I do this, I go back to COVID-19, and I remember, what did I do when I first heard about the changes and things that were coming down for COVID-19? How did it impact me? So an event or something happens, and then my first question is, well, and my first reaction is always emotional. And we can pretend it isn't emotional, but our first reaction is always emotional. So I want to know, how did I respond? What was my emotional response to that? Was it negative? Was it positive? Was it neutral? What emotions was I feeling when I first heard about or was impacted by this change? Then I want to think about, well, what, in addition to my emotions, what am I feeling about a change? Am I feeling like I don't want to do it, or I do want to do it, or it's an inconvenience, or I hate change? And that leads me to, so our feelings and our emotions, our thoughts. What am I thinking about this particular change? And then my beliefs. What beliefs are coming into play that are, what's the voice in my head telling me about this change or challenge? So today our exercise and our action item is to take one change, just pick any change, and dissect it for yourself, because we are our own greatest science experiment, right? We are the most important subject in the whole wide world, and we need to know how we work so we can figure out how we want to interact with the rest of the world. So pick an event, pick a change or a challenge that you're facing or that you have faced, and start to dissect it and say, what are my thoughts? What are my feelings? What are my emotions? What are my beliefs around this specific situation, but also about change in general? Because what we usually find is that, at least in my case, I say that I love changes and challenges, and I've gotten to the point that I do, but I really don't. I like things to be the routine and expected and certain and I like knowing how things are going to go and how my day is going to go and how things are going to work out. I resist change. I procrastinate. I deny change. I feel all the emotions that are, hey, no, I want things to stay the same. I want things to be the way they've always been, just like everybody else. So for our action item today, I want you to go through this and just take a piece of paper, write down a change or a challenge that you faced or are facing. What are your thoughts about it? What are your feelings about it? Ask a bunch of questions. Be your own grand inquisitor. Ask questions. What is my initial reaction to this change? Emotional, and my feelings about it. What do I feel like I need to do? What should I do? What do I want to do? Or do I just want to hide in a corner and not do anything? I like being a mushroom a lot, hiding in the corner and not doing anything. And then we ask ourselves, can I put it off? Can I procrastinate? Can I pass it off and give it to somebody else? Or do I have to be the one that does it? Is it my responsibility or someone else's? So as you do this exercise, a whole bunch of stuff is going to come to the surface about how you automatically deal with changes and challenges. And that's what we're trying to get at. Just share one thing in the comments below that you learn about yourself or about your change and challenge process. Me, I'm a huge procrastinator. I'm going to put it off till the last minute if I absolutely can. So that would be what I would share. And I find that every time I go through one of my changes or challenges that I'm facing. And we're going to address whatever these things are starting tomorrow, so that the things that we like about our change and challenge process, the way we handle it now, we're going to carry forward with us. And the things that we don't like, we're going to substitute them with better things, so that we're always doing what's best for us. I hope you understood this. If you don't, please ask questions in the comments below. You can direct message me via this particular Facebook post, or if you're hearing me on another network, just go to the Facebook page, Get Up and Go Challenge, October. It's actually just the Get Up and Go Challenge page, or the Get Up and Go Challenge group on Facebook, and ask your questions so that there's not confusion about this. I'm trying to keep it really simple every day for each and every one of us, because it's the little pieces, if we do them every day, that will compound and make the biggest impact on our lives. All right, that's it. Have an awesome day. Share what you learn about your current change process in the comments below, and I'll be with you tomorrow, because tomorrow we are going to change your reaction. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.